Welcome to Baker's channel where stories unfold, covering trials, dramas untold. Grab your seat, settle in, start the show. Courtroom clashes, the fun we bestow. Baker's channel, action's hot, dramas and fun, all we got. Discuss, debate, break it down. Baker's channel, just the best in town. Lawyers spar, tensions high, sparks fly. We laugh, we learn, dive into the why. Join the chat, have your say, it's your place too. Every twist, we're here for you. Baker's channel, action's hot, draws and fun, all we got. Discuss, debate, break it down. Baker's channel, just the best in town. Join the crowd. Baker's channel, we're live and loud.
I was muted. Let's Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whoever you are, and especially today, what if any you are? Because here I was, a sweet young baker, not a care in the world, just preparing to hang out with all the cool kids on my stream, rolling some cookies and some romkugler. Just a Friday that should be spent in good company because it's Friday. And Jamie is too lazy to stream, so she gave me the day off. She's not here, so I can say bad stuff about her. And my oh my. Then another Karen Reed thing kind of dropped. Kind of, if I'm reading it correctly, someone in the DA's office isn't talking to someone else in the DA's office, because we all remember that there were 4 jurors reaching out to the defense. The defense raised that the jury had been unanimous on count 1 and 3, not guilty. The response from the DA's office was, "Nah, you're just lying. It's unfounded. There's no reason to do anything about it because there's no basis." And then today, we get a response and in a filing in court where the DA's office admits that they too have had contacts with jurors. Well, they didn't have contacts because, as you know, they are the most ethical people in the world. So they didn't reach out to any of the jurors, but why did you then file a hearing, a reply to the motions saying it was unfounded? Isn't this another little thing that makes you go, It's yeah. I rewatched MG Law stream. For some weird reason, I learned from this expert good that trade school is somehow communism and fried dough donuts are illegal in Denmark. Well, never trust the goods, but trade schools is the best way forward, because Even when your job as a high-skilled solicitor falls through, you will still be able to make donuts. But why would you? You could make real cakes, real bread, instead of donuts. Donuts isn't illegal. They are sold in every gas station and low-price warehouse. Normal bakers make real cakes. They don't make donuts. Well, Marissa, they are ethical. Very, very ethical. Debbie, I will just repeat. They are ethical. Very, very ethical. No, they're not. They got found out. Edward Scott might have a point here. Yeah, trade school, best schools. Yeah, but as a fellow European, you too are communist. You marched around the DA's office yesterday in protest supporting the Justice for Just on Rude group. As I gazed up upon the second floor window, I half expected DA office employees to have signs, "Help me." Let's read what they are writing before we get to the cakes. I picked blackberries and made a cake with whipped cream. Today, as I said yesterday, it won't be a bake-along stream. It'll just be me talking while I roll up some dough. I have chocolate chip cookies and a Danish thing we call romkugler, which is old. Oh, you can use most old kinds of. If you have like a pound cake, if you have some old Danishes or anything like that, you just chuck it in, put in some cocoa powder, some rum flavor, and Bob's your uncle. 2024, Bob might be your aunt as well. But let's look at what this ethical DA's office was saying. Can we embiggen it? Yeah, we can. Now comes the Commonwealth, blah, blah, blah. On Sunday, July 21st, Assistant District Attorney Adam Lally received an unsolicited voicemail on his office phone line from an individual who identified theirself as a juror by full name and seat number. This individual stated, "It is true what has come out recently about the jury being unanimous on charges 1 and 3. Remember, same Adam Lally filed a motion stating that the defense motion was unfounded." Remember, this is a very, very ethical DA's office. On Friday, July 26, 5 days later, Assistant District Attorney Adam Lally received another unsolicited voicemail on his office phone lines from this same individual who stated, "Can confirm unanimous on charges 1 and 3 as not guilty, and as of last vote 9-3 guilty on manslaughter charges, on the lower level manslaughter charges." The Commonwealth did not respond to this individual, as the Commonwealth is ethically prohibited from engaging in discussion about the jury's deliberative process. This is what you call sneaky, because is it engaging in discussion about the jury's deliberative process by reaching out and say, "We just want to confirm your phone calls. We do not want to know anything about your discussion, but we have a motion from the defense stating you were unanimous on 1 and 3 and hung on 2. We don't want to know the numbers. We don't want to know how it came about. Can you confirm unanimous on 1 and 3 and hung on 2? Gracias. Hasta la taco." That's not engaging in discussion about the jury's deliberative process. That's just confirming that the defense have correctly entered a motion stating those things. Why didn't they do that? Because again, sneaky little DA's office kind of hide behind, well, we are just following the law. We don't do nothing wrong. We knew that the defense was right, but we called it unfounded because we can't reach out to a jury and confirm, even though we now know from a confirmed juror in the case that the defense's motions were correct. But because I can't engage in discussions about the jury's deliberative process, my brain went blank and I wrote a motion saying the defense is unfounded in their claims. How is this not something that Monsieur Lally should be kicked in his behind over? He filed a motion claiming the defense had no legs to stand on. And now he files a motion saying, well, I knew all along that the defense's statements were correct, but because I couldn't call the jury back and ask for their deliberative process, I just filed a motion saying the defense was unfounded. I'm weird. I don't understand why. Let me just see. Hey, Zach. Jurors are allowed to talk with prosecutors. They do it often after trials. Prosecutors often answering questions. Lally is full of manure. Well, as long as the jury reaches out to Lally, which this one did twice. But again, as a smart guy, he had that little get out of jail free card. He didn't pick up the phone, so he couldn't call them back and ask them if they're correct. But he still filed a motion with, I should really have reached out to Betterow about this, because wasn't he lying in his motion when he said this is unfounded? I'm not a lawyer. I don't know. But to me, that he wrote that motion against better knowledge. Holla, I don't know. Looking forward to how they think they can spin this if they aren't going to drop counts 1 and 3. Well, they don't know it because they are so ethically inclined that they totally blank out every time they hear the defense is correct. And if they can't remember it, they don't need to take them away, and it won't be double jeopardy because ethically they couldn't follow up. Why isn't he filing a motion saying we have the same information, Judge Bev? We think it would be prudent, so we don't, because we are the DA's office. We are not a vengeance company. We are not a lynch mob. Let's get the jury in here and confirm, and then we will remove charges 1 and 3, go forward with the manslaughter, which they were hung on, and Bob's your uncle or aunt. It could be a boxing match, so we never know what gender he is. But wouldn't an ethically superior DA's office say, I had the same information? Yeah, it would be double jeopardy because clearly they were unanimous. So let's take it off the table. No, what did they do? They filed a motion saying this is unfounded, which he knew it wasn't. How isn't that man? Oh, because Morrissey is his boss, so nothing will happen to this poser. So basically, Morrissey is admitting that these jurors called them and they didn't do S about it. Who filed it? Yes, it was our friend Michael V. Morrissey by First AD. What the hell? First. What does that say? Oh, Adam C. Lally. I thought it said First assistant district attorney. But Lally, who got the 2 phone calls, admits now he got the 2 phone calls, but still, Lally was the guy who filed no foundation to do it. Basically, the state is desperate to save the murder 2 charges because it lets him slip in weeks of character assassination, and every prosecutor knows exactly how important that is to juries. Yes. Because imagine if he just had to go by the evidence in the case, not that someone went to Aruba, not that someone was screaming, Jen, 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 in the phone so loud that Jen could hear it on the other side of the bed. Imagine if all Lally had was a DUI hit and run. Then Lally would be laughed out of court. Well, he should have been when the ARCA report came in. I just said to myself before looking at my phone, I wonder what Baker is doing. Thanks for coming on. Well, I set it up 3 hours ago. Listening while I work because my coworkers are boring. Well, we are not boring. We are interesting people. Also throwing shade on defense, insinuating they are not ethical. Yes, but also throwing shade on the defense, claiming they made an unfounded claim that the jury was unanimous, and then admitting that he had that knowledge when he filed that motion. I never worked in anything fancy. I got elected for city council, sat there for 4 years. Then the voters chucked me out. Probably a good idea. I'm a weirdo. But when I was an apprentice, when I was a paper boy, when I was driving furniture around as a delivery guy, when I was a private first class in the army, if I lied about stuff that I clearly had knowledge of, it would have consequences. This is one of the most powerful men in Massachusetts. Not Massachusetts. In Jesus Christ. In the Commonwealth. Because he is the guy who decides which cases goes on. And he clearly lies about what knowledge he had at what point. How isn't that a big old problem for them? I don't understand it. Lally and Morrissey are driving the Death Star right now. Well, we have to do the run-in then. What a load of crapola. Polling them on what the result was is in no way, shape, or form asking them about their deliberation process. No. Again, when I go into our deliberation rooms, I can't tell you about, we had this case where a woman was accused of hitting her man, and I was saying that I find she was not guilty, and the other lady across the table said, well, I found her guilty, and we were arguing for 5 hours about it. I can't sit and talk about that. I can't sit and say, well, she got really hung up on the glass embedded in the bumper, and I was yelling at her, there was no glass embedded in the bumper, look at your notes. And she said, well, I fell asleep because it was the 25th time that day I heard what if anything. I can't talk about my deliberations, but I can tell you what result we got afterwards, because we're out of the room. We don't talk about what goes on in the room. It's such a BS thing. Lally is the type of guy that would pull the pin asking, what does this do, while still holding the grenade. Well, as long as you don't let the clip go, it's fine. Hey, Aaron. This motion necessitates bringing the jurors in under oath. Well, Bev will rule that there's no reason to do it, so it doesn't necessitate anything. Because Bev will just rule, yeah, well, doesn't matter. Exactly, Marissa. That's why they want the murder 2 there. The CV's email response to those jurors is pure intimidation. Yes, that's another thing I wanted to read. Because remember, Up near Canton, there's a guy called Daddy, Turtle Boy, Aiden, whatever you like to call him. He has a lot of charges, a lot of accusers of witness intimidation. But what is this? Similarly, the Commonwealth received emails from 3 individuals who identified themselves as jurors. These individuals indicated they wished to speak anonymously. On July 16th, the Commonwealth responded to the emails by stating that the Commonwealth would welcome the opportunity to discuss the evidence or the Commonwealth's case. However, we are ethically prohibited from inquiring as to the substance of your jury deliberations. That's fine. That would include your individual or the jury's collective thought process. That's fine too. They had the unanimous agreements. The content of your deliberations, well, we know what the content would be. All the reasons for your decisions, all of that, you can keep that out. Just ask 1, 3, were you unanimous on those? It was further explained that the Commonwealth could not promise confidentiality and that the substance of any communications may necessitate disclosure to the defendant or the court. All 3 jurors declined to further communicate with the Commonwealth and provided no information about the jury's purported votes. So, if you want to come forward and talk, we'll blast you out there. And to the defendant, so the defendant will disclose you, because the DA's office absolutely wouldn't, but they would have to give it to the defendant, and you know what can happen? Because the defense have been so unethical in this case, so they would probably leak. That's how I read it. It's a small, well, we of course would do anything you want, but the defense, yeah, they'll dox you. How is this not intimidating the jurors? How? Why is this big old lying meatbag allowed to do this? I don't understand it. Anyone with any ethics would do that, but this is Morrissey and Lally. Point taken. Well, it has been crystal clear from the beginning that this is a malicious prosecution, so they are simply proceeding on that road. Attorney Mark Beddoe, they will keep coming like zombies, hellbent. I will just say zombies is trademarked under yellow cottage cheese. So Mark can't use that legally, because that's a yellow cottage cheese's special little name. I'm so far behind, as always. You were told there would be cake. I feel lied to. There will be cake later. We just had to do a little Karen Reed. And it really annoys me that I couldn't use a C for her name. So it could have been Karen Reed, Cake and Chat. Just to keep it going. Thank you, CG girl. I am smart sometimes. Yeah, that's pure intimidation. We will have to disclose. We can't keep you anonymous because we will have to disclose it to the other side of the court. They are leaking like a sieve. No. You just said, read between the lines, as I taught my kids. Read between the lines. We will disclose your informations. Love that Mark Beddoe is representing Aiden now. It's with an A. But yes, let's just say it as it is. Beddoe is a smart cookie. Marissa, I might fire you as head of my creative headline writing and hire Jetsire if they will work for the same amount you get. Will it be fancy cake? No, it'll be simple. As I said yesterday, it won't be a bake-along. It'll just be a chatteroo, because I just want... no, I don't want it. I have to have something tomorrow. And I was thinking about making something, and then I found out how much frozen cake I had in the freezer. So it'll just be a little something. Do we know if there will be footage of Mark representing Aiden? Well, if they go to court normally, they are televised. There's a court order to not disclose. Are they saying they can't comply? Ridiculously. And again, that court order was instated after this because the three emails was received on July 16th. I don't believe that court order was entered. I believe they had the motions the day after. I might be off in my head trying to remember the dates, but this would mean they had knowledge of jurors coming forward when they filed the motion that there was nothing to the motion that the defense put out there. They knew from at least three sources when they wrote that motion that they called the defense claims unfounded, that it was founded in at least three people reaching out to the Commonwealth. So you have to talk to someone and say, how is that ethical from the most ethical DA's office in the States? So ethical, they can't even listen to jurors who want to tell them, you way overcharged this poor woman. No, what do? Because they're not a DA's office. They are a lynch mob. They just want blood. They want to try double jeopardy to get Karen Reed in the slammer for something a jury clearly found her not guilty of, which they have knowledge of, which to me raises this to a whole nother. One thing was that defense had notion that jurors, the DAs could say, well, we didn't have direct knowledge. We now know they have at least three people, because the person calling on the phone, we don't know if that's number 3 or number 4. They had direct knowledge that the jury was unanimously 1 and 3 was out the window. How is an office that has nothing to do with getting revenge, they are just there to get justice, not listening to the jurors that they impaneled, the jurors who listened to their case, the jurors who had to sit through 7 weeks of talking about the weather and not 1 second about what happened to John O'Keefe. The testimony about how John O'Keefe passed away lasted longer for the defense than it did for the state. Why are they sweeping this under the rug? This should be, and I know it'll be full screen everywhere today, covered by all the great co-creators I have out there. But that should be the question we should try to find out. So probably someone who knows about the law. How is this in any way fair and in coming with what the DA's office is about? Because the DA's office has nothing to do with getting revenge for the McAlberts or retribution for John O'Keefe. They should only charge with what is reasonable. And they now know murder 2 is absolutely not reasonable. But they keep going. How is that not highly unethical? I don't understand that one. I misspell Aiden's name almost every time I write about him too. And then someone tells me, it's with an A. Good Friday afternoon, Secret Squirrel. Cake crumbs will do. I'm not expensive. Well, the romkugler I'm going to make is made with cake crumbs. No chocolate cake today, but cake with cocoa in it, so it looks dark. You like fancy cake? Well, depends what's fancy. Not the pineapple upside down cake I made after a recipe I got from Legendary Racing, because it had coconuts in it. It was really, really bad. I saw some love banter between Turtle Boy and Brother O'Keefe. Yes. Paul might have been having a little vacation and started attacking Turtle Boy on, I believe it was on either his Facebook or his Twitch tweet. And they ended up agreeing to going on a date where I believe Doink was going to be the chaperone or the driver or something like that. Lally's technically lying about the defense not knowing who the jurors are. They help pick the jury. They know their names, their jobs, and everything else. Yes, and they testified that by knowing these things, they could identify the persons reaching out to them as jurors. So Lally is always lying. No Pavlova today. I should do one of those. Baker, they're sweeping it under the rug because they can't bury it in a snowdrift. Well, it only snowed once in the history of Canton, so of course they can't do that. The defense promises anonymity, but CV immediately threatens juror with public disclosure. Well, they don't threaten them with public disclosure. They threaten them with having to disclose it to the court and the defense or the defendant. Read into that, and that they will leak it when we disclose it to them, because we would give you full anonymity. But the other side, they're shifty beeholes. Now, we all know who has been heavily engaged in a PR campaign using such magical creatures like Doink the Clown, Caffy Daffy, Yellow Cottage Cheese, who all got special access, allegedly, in Minecraft. But they are claiming that it's Karen Reed who paid for a PR. Well, maybe she paid for a PR campaign because no willing idiots was on her side like on the other side, where they just said, "Oh, can I get some content for free so I can sit here and look like I don't know why my camera's on and sneak around in some bushes?" Cynthia, don't yell. It's Friday. Don't don't know any more when the first juror disclosed to defense. Well, I believe around July 16th was the first day they came out with it. I'm not sure if it was that day. I love going through the list and trying to pick up and see if there's something I missed. And then Fedorowski is just talking about Christian Sanso and the pirate show, because that makes my ADHD just run down another squirrel route. Good morning, Pam Graham. I wonder if one of the jurors who was threatened by Lally decided to get a lawyer to request impoundment by Bev. It could be. It could be that it was because of this letter that that juror reached out to court, because they were quick to say, "Oh, it was because the defense would leak everyone, and oh, it's to protect them from the defense." But in what world would it help the defense to disclose and harass a juror when those jurors are saying no murder too? Let's forget about the third one, because it doesn't matter. It's the murder two we want off the table. Imagine Lally had to go in there without murder two. No premeditation. It was just a hit and run. And then the defense can chuck out everything else than the ARCA guys and just say, ain't no way he can prove that car hit that person, because he will have to put Trooper Paul up against Crash Daddy without 8 weeks of snow. He will have to put those two up against each other, and the jury will be awake when they hear Crash Daddy laughing at Trooper Paul. I miss Doink. Well, Beckenlin, if you snooze, you lose. Well, maybe Turtle Boy is a sweet guy. I don't know. I wish someone would text me. I know, Zoom. I know. But the defense already knows who they are. All are too. Yeah. And again, what would it help the defense to disclose that it's Scott McGinnis who is one of the jurors saying not guilty? Uh, because that would get a lynch mob outside his house saying, "You better change it back to guilty." It only helps the defense would do anything in the world to bring them in, hooded up. No one is allowed to hear from them, see from them, just to confirm we unanimously voted not guilty on murder 2. You would have Janetti standing out front, making sure no one could see who any of the jurors were. The only people who are interested in the jurors being so intimidated they won't come forward confirming what we know is the state. It makes no sense that the defense in any way wants to arrest these jurors because they agree with the defense. Again, it's totally rebunk that people. I go on Twitch chat. I see all the knuckleheads. The defense wouldn't disclose any. They would protect this jury more than anything because the second they could get a hearing confirming that, which they won't get, Ondibeb will put down her big fat foot and say, nope, no can do. And but they would do whatever they could to take murder 2 off the table. Imagine having murder 2. Murder 2 is to prove she had intended to do it. That's why they had the third party culprit defense going. If they don't have the third party culprit, they don't need to waste time talking about what type of glass is at the waterfall bar, who called who a B word in Aruba, what if any snow was in Canton that day, at what time she was seen leaving. They will only have to contend with one problem, and that's a big problem for Lally. Arca, world-renowned specialist in crash reconstruction, saying, that car never hit a guy. That guy was never hit by a car. How would Lally try and get around that? Because the second murder 2 is because murder 2 you can infer a lot of things about. Oh, she was jealous on that young chick in Aruba. Oh, the kids said she was they were fighting. No, it was a basic hit and run. She was drunk, started the car, ran him over. No ill will, no intent. All of Lally's 8 weeks goes out the window, and he has Trooper Paul, the ME, who didn't say she could clearly say that that guy was hit by a car. You don't have to talk about Chloe. You don't have to talk about dog bites. You don't have to talk about anything. You just have to get the ARCA guys on there saying that car never struck that person. And then you have Trooper Paul telling you, well, it kind of maybe stuff that maybe could be, I don't know. Did you ever reconstruct it? Nah, the crime scene told me. If they could get murder 2 off the table, Lally would drop this case faster than my ex-girlfriend dropped me. Maybe I should go to Aruba. Well, good for you, Laura. Maybe the jury should go on Deadline or 60 Minutes, tell their story, and have voices changed and faces blacked out. If you could arrange it, yeah, it could. I actually saw yesterday, I was in a Twitch chat debate where someone said, why don't they go to national media if they feel like they have been covered up by the state? And then the state dropped this today. Maybe someone is talking about going somewhere. I don't know. I'm just speculating right now. But what if a juror came forward and said, I'm going to go to the Boston. I'm going to talk to me and Howie Carr is going to be on NBC 10 or whatever it's called in Boston next Monday, talking about how you didn't pick up the phone. No, I believe it's WBZN or something that broke the story. Because this is a response to that journalist who put out that she knew from a juror that they had contacted the Canton DA's office. It's not Canton, but you know what I mean. This is a response to that because this should have been out after they filed the motion. It should have been in their address to the defense motion saying, yes, we have been contacted, but we still don't think it. They didn't do that. They called it unfounded. Then a journalist got them by their huevos and said, I have knowledge of a juror coming forward telling me the DA's office didn't respond. All of a sudden, they file, oh, by the way, we knew about this when we filed our other motions. Because the only thing they are more scared of is more press. They don't care that us YouTube talking heads are sitting here. I have 117 people from all over the world watching this right now. They don't care about that. They don't care that when LTL and the Clara Aiden is going to cover this tonight, there will probably be 25, 30,000 more because they are old school thinkers. They believe that when it hit WNBBCN, whatever the name of that channel is, then it's a problem. Because they don't understand that today news is on the internet. So when a real journalist came forward, they had to cover their aces. Bev's deliberations will show just how bent she may be after this. Lally and Morrissey have no idea how even more ridiculous this has made them look. Well, I think they have an idea, and that's why they filed this motion. Again, a journalist wrote 2 days ago, I believe, or yesterday, that a juror had told them, and then they got afraid because these are the real media. These have pull. It's not a stupid Danish guy talking while he should be baking. They are afraid of more headlines in the paper, which they should be, but they should also think, how come whenever people do streams about that, that's 5,000 people showing up, not on my channel, but on the local channels. How is people standing outside the DA's office yesterday? Why is every case kind of getting blown up in their face right now? Because they do this kind of crap. Boston Globe did a podcast about 3 days ago and stated the defense claimed Chloe killed John O'Keefe. Dr. Russell got involved because of a Boston Globe article, and yet they still spreading lies. Well, do you really listen to mainstream media anymore? Because you're here right now. You're one of the 180 people who found this one because it said Karen Reed. Do you waste your time on CNN or Fox? Because you don't get news. You don't get people who dig deep into cases. Go listen to Brandy Churchwell's podcast. Highly recommend them. You won't see any kind of journalism like that on any major news station or minor news station because Brandy goes deep. She digs in and she keeps going because she's interested. Those talking heads, that weirdo on Court TV who had KDP on, do you think she even knows who Karen Reed is? Do you think she could pick her up in a lineup? Or is she just sitting there thinking, well, this is what I'm going to sell today so we can get some numbers. I can get my paycheck. That's why I primarily watch YouTube today. If I'm not watching sports on TV, I hardly ever. Our news, the coverage of America is CNN 24 hours later in Danish. I can get more information by just going on my Twitter feed than I can in the mainstream media. Yeah, and Brandy is getting so much BS thrown at her because Brandy is so good. What I didn't like was the people over when she was on Turtle Boy, just because she doesn't line up 100% with what the Free Karen Reed side who was there believed. She was only 99% in agreement. People started shooting on her. You have to get out of that silo mentality. If you say Free Karen Reed, it doesn't matter if you believe Colin did it, Higgins did it, it was an accident, that it was the Martians. My money is on the Martians. You should think, oh, they are fighting for the same thing. One of the biggest problems too with this internet thing is if you don't think exactly like I do, you're the devil. Even though we agree on 95% of a thing, I'll still yell at you for not believing that 5% that makes me special or makes my entire reasoning in this case. And a lot of people are saying, well, Brandy wasn't on board from the start. No, she said, I want to see the evidence, which is totally fine. I think there's a passage in the Bible about it's easier for a convert to get into, someone, what is it? That God prefers a convert more than a person who believed all his life or something like that, because that's when they really have thought about it. You shouldn't go attack people just because. I had the same thing too, because I have multiple times said, I don't care who was in the house. I don't want to get into that. Who could have done it? Is it in the basement? Is it on the first? And people yelled at me, but it doesn't matter because I don't bring charges against anyone. So it doesn't matter who could have. I believe Higgins is a possible suspect in this case, but it doesn't matter because I can't bring charges against anyone. What matters is I believe Karen Reed didn't do the stuff she's accused of. As long as we agree on that part, you should say, that's fine. I have all this knowledge that I believe makes this a reasonable suspect, or I have all of this knowledge that makes this a reasonable suspect. That's fine. We don't all have to be in agreement. As long as we agree she didn't do it. Sophia Stalin, thank you for being a member for 5 months. This one. The people in the house had equal means and opportunity. At least one had motive as well. Yes, agree. But only one person was charged with a crime. That was Karen Reed. As long as we can agree, until someone else is charged, let's say they're going to charge Brian Higgins, which they won't do, and all the people who think it's Colin who did it, will you then say, well, they got the wrong man? Or would you say, nah, that fat top of lard deserves it? Even if we all have different viewpoints than you, you are a likable person that is respectful. I'm not that likable. That's why I've been single so long. No, I just don't understand why we all must agree that it was Colonel Mustard in the kitchen with a lead pipe. As long as we agree it wasn't Karen Reed. And I think there's a lot of purity tests going on the internet that's another thing, people demanding that us as streamers disavow Turtle Boy. I have had Turtle Boy on one stream maybe roughly 3/4 of a year ago, a year ago. We had a great conversation. He has done amazing work. I've said it with him on the stream. I've said it before. I said, if it's true that he harassed people, I don't condone that. But That doesn't change that guy broke this story. Doesn't change that he's being harassed by all of the people who are so afraid of everyone. Why should I put out a disclaimer saying, "Oh, I believe Karen Reed is innocent, but Aiden is a bad boy"? No, I don't. It's not a purity test center. We should all recognize what it is. We don't condone stuff just because we have a conversation with people, and we don't have to say, well, someone accused him of this, you should talk out against it. Well, I haven't seen it proven in a court of law. I know he went to prison. I felt that was unfair. Do I have the same style? No, I'm way more laid back. Aiden is, in my opinion, is kind of like Howard Stern before he lost his huevos. He's a shock jock, and he gets results by doing that. You have to commend him for that. But you don't have to ask me or anyone else to provide either or we're with or against people, because that's not how it's about. It's about we should all work together. If we have a common goal, we can use each other. That's why I did the panel shows, to get some people on where we could show that we could agree, we could disagree. I had people reaching out to me because I covered that trial with a girl who I believe was a DV victim. Someone yelled at me and said I was a poser because I had just lied and said what everyone else said in the Karen Reed case, because I never really understood why I was a poser. But this is this insane level of purity people want on YouTube, that everyone must toe my line. No, come in, disagree, agree, let's talk about it. And the reason why there's me, there's Emily D. Baker, there is Runkle of the Bailey, there's Andrea Burkhardt, that there is Legal Bites, Aiden, Brandy, Sean of the Golf, LTL, The Glarer, Yellow Cottage Cheese, is because you might not agree 100% with my style or like my style of coverage. Then you can choose someone else. Imagine how boring it would be if everyone would be like me. It'll be rambling fools all over. Luckily, there's great creators out there as well. So I just hate that purity that, oh, you must 100% agree with me, or I'll yell at you even though you are on the good side. I just don't understand it. I never read sex super chats. It's a new month. Super chat budget is reset, but I don't read them. Super chats just burning a hole in my pocket, but I still won't read them. Not that I've ever stuck to that budget, and not that I ever read any of your super chats. Legal Bites gets carried away with the teeth. Which teeth? Oh, the Legal Bites. Oh, yeah. Oh. At least they don't call you pusher like Kim Botnia. Well, I liked the first one. The last two were crappy. People nowadays have forgotten that it's okay to agree to disagree. We didn't used to lose friends because we disagreed on certain topics. No. And you understood that even though both you and your girlfriend love the Backstreet Boys, one of you could love Bye 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 and another one could love Backstreet's Back. And you would still be friends because you agreed that Backstreet Boys was the greatest boy band of all time. You just didn't agree on which song was the best. And it's kind of the thing I think is missing in some of these chats, that people understand. They want everyone to agree that Bye 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 is the best song, which it isn't. I like Backstreet's Back better because the music video is better. Hey, Cindy Snyder. I don't like Kevin Cottage Cheese and do not like Court TV. No, and that's a beautiful thing. Then we just don't watch him. But you could also sit here and think, well, Baker is way too his mind is too close. He can't see the real thing, man. And then you can probably find someone else who sees it the way you see it. But the most important thing is you have a lot of people covering the trial and stuff like this when it comes out there. Imagine if we had to have a council and agree what we had to say. That would be boring. The worldwide bigger horde of boring followers. Exactly. I don't necessarily agree with everything that anyone says or does, but I can still appreciate the talent of everyone and decide for myself. I toe the line that Kareed is not guilty of anything, in my opinion. Suzanne, and that's how it should be. And then it's just down to personal preferences, because do you like my squirrely brain going all over the place? Do you like Brandy, who really connects the dots? Do you like Emily D. Baker's chat more than you like LTL's chat? There's a lot of personal preferences that comes into it, because we're all covering the same case, and all of us is pretty much in agreement. You only have Wendy Murphy, Kathy Daffy, and Cottage Cheese, who's still believes that Karen Reed did it. So yeah, I did get it with the bites. I love your chatter, Baker. Well, I love my chat as well. They are nice people. Well, some of them. Jamie has radically different stance on a difference of opinion. Well, Jamie is taking a day off, so I can have my own opinions today. Well, I can't, but she'll make me pay later. I only know the NSYNC thing because the boy is obsessed. I Want It That Way is the best. Mods, can you block her? Do I like Nick NSYNC? I'm in Denmark we called them pop boys by heart. You wouldn't know, but I liked a lot of that 90s music. Maybe because I hung out in bars too much. Yes, and that's why I really like when we do those panel shows, because it brings a little bit of flavor. And we like to have some flavor. I love to know who can actually follow EDB's chat. You have to be able to slow down time. Oh, did you just subscribe? Shame me. Thank you so much. Jamie's opinion is my opinion. Yes, I have signed the contract. I must toe the line. Exactly on bronze, and I think a few people should really get back at mindset, because you'll make enemies out of friends for no reason, and strengthening the opposition by demanding you must have this opinion. Well, I try. That's why I sometimes say too much about my real life. Everything in life can be related to Rush lyrics. I not listen to much of Rush, I think. Who else does post? I actually stole it from another. Well, not. I didn't steal from another channel. They had, if you paid them, I believe, $20 super chats, then they would have one color for that day and put it on the wall. And I thought, no, let's color code it so everyone, because yes, these are worth a lot more than these, but I don't know the income of that person or that person. This person could be sitting there thinking, I really, really want to support him, but I have no money. But I will give him $2. And this person could have said, well, I made a killing on YouTube last month. I can spare $50. I don't know that. So I think we should try to equally be grateful for the $2 or the $50. And then, of course, you have Brandon, but he's a special kind of fish. Did you hear about the Free Can Read YouTube-a-thon? All of the Free Can Read creators participate in the fundraising, passing the baton show to keep the marathon going. Time zones considered. Someone reached out to me 2-3 weeks ago asking if I would want to do it, some bingo thing. That's all I've heard. Never heard anything else. So probably they said that job, so we don't want him. I think it's racist because I am Danish. It's kind of like they don't want to serve me beer in Tennessee because they're racist. I know they have talks about it. I haven't heard anything else since then, but I would love to participate. Um, I don't know. I I'd be willing to buy a few packs of Lego and do some giveaway stuff to draw some customers in. Again, not paid to win, but just do some of that to keep the ball rolling and raise some funds for her defense fund. I would love to do it. I should remember which. No, I shouldn't dox the person who reached out to me. But someone did reach out to me a couple of weeks ago, but I haven't heard anything since then. So, but I could do the weird shifts for the Americas because I'm up anyway. Where was Higgins and his vehicle when Karen Reed put up to drop John O'Keefe off? He didn't get back to Canton Station until 1:30, according to his statement. Where was he? He was directly in front of the mailbox when Karen Reed drove up there, which is impossible because every other one said she stopped where his car was. But don't think about it. The magic Jeep didn't appear until the court, until the trial started. Every other testimony, his car was in the driveway. Don't think about it. It's magic. It just happens. Speaking of Aruba, key lime pie is 12 and a half bucks there. In Antigua, it's 15 bucks. Barbados, 9. St. Croix, 11.49. Those are the pie rates of the Caribbean. That's why I don't read your super chat, Zach. Good one. You got me on that one. I was sitting there thinking, oh, inflation is crazy in Aruba. Yeah, I know. That's the annoying thing about being in Denmark. It started 1 a.m. my time. I really wanted. I watched part of it this morning, but yeah, and I like those two. I was lucky enough to be on Megan Fox once talking about the Karen Reed case, but I like those two people. They again, it's a whole nother segment. Talk is well, he's known for the AHJD, but he's more like what would you call it? More like comics and stuff. That's more where I know him from, and then you have these crossovers. It brings in a whole new set of eyes. That's why I'm saying don't count anyone out just because they don't toe the line 100%. Well, thank you, Susan. That's what it should be about. You are on cow jokes. Well, again, hopefully Murder 2 will be off the table so Karen Reed doesn't have to go into any of that to try and prove someone else's did it. Viva el fabuloso Baker. ¿Dónde está Chloe? Chloe está en la Vermont. Didn't Coco claim that she gave the defense access to Chloe, but they didn't want it? What is the population of Morocco? That soccer match had more in the net than the opening ceremony had dangling onto the transmission dinner table. Embarrassing. Who played Morocco? Did you guys play the Moroccans? They're not that great of a team. Well, they did okay back in the 90s. Well, not okay, but they didn't suck too bad. But again, America and soccer, it's kind of like me and saying no at a buffet. It doesn't work. Oh, it was a funny joke. Exactly. No one saw the Jeep other than Brian Higgins and Jen McCabe and Mr. McCabe, maybe? Gene Auld. Welcome, welcome. Glad to have you. Say hello to everyone. Everyone say hello to Gene, Sean, Gian. Be nice to them. Thought McDonald's had certain breakfast items all day. No, they went away from all day breakfast. I learned that somewhere. Well, I think I'm gonna do what I was supposed to do and do the baking stuff. Now we did the care and read stuff for about an hour, so I will go make some cakes and just the rest of the show will just be chitty chatty with the chat, and of course I'll try to keep an eye on and do it. But the care and read part is over, so you can leave if you came for that part. Yes, I did read that Dollywood is flash flooded. I'm lucky I got to go there before it started raining. No one told me it rained like that in Tennessee. And again, it's the weirdest town I've ever been in. You had 4 seasons just going through the town. That was weird. You want cookies? Well, if I get out of here, they should be done in, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes. So you can just swing by. What we won't be able to watch you bake? Well, you can because I have my baking studio set up, but I just wanted to do the care and read stuff to begin with, so people can get out of here and go cover something else than just me yelling at my laptop not working when I'm streaming. But everyone, the care and read part of the show is over. Now we go back to the regular scheduled program, which will be me rolling up some stuff and yelling when my laptop is slowing down. Hope you'll stay. Chat will be going while I am there. I'll keep an eye on it. And GP Dog Drool gifted 5 membership to None Your Business, K Marshall, Laura Reicher, Joyful, and GP Dog Drool got himself a membership. Thank you so much. That's a cool name. GP Dog Drool. I tried to make girlfriend bread, asked my boyfriend to get some rice flour. He bought corn flour. Bread turned out like scones with a hard rock crust. I'm sticking to baking kids' cupcakes. Why rice flour? That's weird. Oh, gluten free. Oh, I thought girlfriend. Oh, gluten free. Yeah, I don't understand gluten free. So Canton cover up cake, cookies, and chat. Yeah, it's gonna be all of the above. No, I never, as I just said, I don't understand. Well, I do my little I have my little mousse en bouche or whatever it's called, my little snacky snack, which is made from shaved coconut shavings, egg whites, and sugar. That's the most gluten free I go because back when I was an apprentice, gluten free was in a shake and bake because that was really new. So yeah, but I have. It's called coconut tops. They're good. You dip them in chocolate and with a cup of cocoa, cup of coffee. C'est bon. Well, I'm going to do it right now, Mary Murphy. So I'm gonna. Megan and Chuck have a pretty far reach, especially when they're passionate about something. For sure, they connect to different audience. However, I met dude. Well, and that's the thing I would like to do. That's why I do baking, because it has nothing to do with court things. But I would like to try and broaden getting to know new people, because talking trials with the same 5 people all the time gets a little bit the same. I would love to discuss something else. That's why I sometimes talks about history, and I don't touch politics, because that will always blow up in your face. But the rest of it, I would love to go and talk to someone else about something else, just to broaden my reach as well. But it's also really hard, because when you have a YouTube channel, you have to grind the same stuff all the time, because then YouTube recommend you to the people who like the stuff you grind. So it's kind of like a catch-22 that you must, if you get kind of good at what you're doing, you have to keep doing it to keep growing. And it's just sometimes you just want to go on a stream and talk about why the Swedish are the worst people in the world because they cheat at war, which everyone agrees on, even the Swedes. I lost my belt, so I tried to make one by putting all my wristwatches together. Total waste of time. Zachary. I know it's Friday, but yeah. I don't like talking with Marissa, Jamie, and you. Why? Who? What? What did I do? What kind of cake? I'm gonna do just some chocolate chip cookies, and then I'm gonna do a Danish thing called romkugler. It's just a lot of rolling. So, but I'm gonna. Do I have something I can play while I run in there? Yeah, I have my pause video that everyone hates.
Sweets now in silence, asleep. Quite beloved with so bright, your tweets on this day and night. Oh, run, my dear, tweets I cannot see. Love from your words, from your humor fade. From afar, in my silent embrace, I miss your tweets. Teach what I trace.
And of course, as I said, my stupid laptop always slows it down. So I will try and watching the chat, but I might not pull up as many because now I have 30 fingers. And of course it breaks down. Look at those little hands, buttery soft, softer than Adam's Egypt's. I don't know. Why is this all? I, I hope I'm. This laptop keeps crapping out and I don't understand it. It's cable fed internet, but it just keeps going to shit. And it's pretty new. Waste of money. This is a crap show. Zach, we don't have free internet. The hell? I'm sorry, you guys. I don't know why every time I go on that laptop, it just kicks out the internet. I can't. I have to figure out how to effing make that work. But that's the low quality production you only get on this channel. This is so annoying. I bet you I could just run my phone, but my laptop always seizes up. Jesus. Is those M&Ms I spike in my cookie batter? Well, it's a knockoff brand, but yes. It's like watching Julia Child on pause. Some ladies want their dough rolled by Baker, and his wooden pin is something to behold. Well, it's straight. Now it's much better not bothering because I don't know why. I buy a new internet cable, try and see if that'll work, because I bought a new laptop, I thought that was the problem. Oh, Jesus. The cake is here, but my laptop craps out every time I try to stream from it. So I can show you I do have cake. I will show the results later. Jesus Christ. Jamie was supposed to be the one with the Wi-Fi, but she didn't come through. You don't see me. I'm here. Well, this is a laptop I bought 2 months ago. It hasn't worked since then, so maybe it's the cable. I'll buy a new cable, see if that works, or else I need a new PC. Then I can put the PC in there to run the other thing. Just talk while you stream, man. Well, the problem is I can't do it on the laptop where I'm working because it craps out. So I can't. Chat is just standing still. I can't see what anyone. I don't even know if I had audio through to you. So it's really weird. I hate it. I have low standards. Iris knows how that is with the X's, but I want to perform an okay show while I do it. You need more RAM? Talk to Valhalla. Well, I have 6 times the amount of RAM that's needed to run StreamYard. We don't have fjords. That's in Norway. Well, I never stress. I just get angry and start throwing things. I am annoyed. Yeah, I don't know. I bought a new laptop. Thank you all for the people who contributed for it. But now I have to try and run the a new wire, and see if it's on the same network this is on. This works. Tutto bene. There's no bread, lemony cake. There's no end to what they'll take. Smexual baking jokes. Is that a loaf of dough in your pants? Are you just happy to see me? I'm always happy to see you, standing Stones. And no, it's a baguette. I think my kitchen might be a part of Canton. Nothing works in there. Put my nudes. Well, Marissa, you were supposed to be on the beach. Massa has some kind of security feature that messes up the cam for him. Yeah, but mine is it just drops my internet speed. It goes from, even though it's cabled on a thousand fiber optic line, it goes from full to just 1 bar the second I start streaming. I don't know what happens. Because Valhalla has goats. Oh, yeah, I lost my mom to that. That's the worst disease. Well, I told you they'll be done in 10 minutes after I stop this stream. I'll chuck them in the oven 8 minutes so they're nice and gooey in the middle. And you can swing by, pick up a few. Well, the problem is if I put my cooking in this room, I would have to install. That's why I did it out there, because that's my kitchen. This is my guest bedroom. So I would have to put up a stove in here. That'll be weird. It's the video card. Well, no, because again, it's a connection issue. It's directly linked. It's closer to my router than this room is. I have the same amount of length. No, I have 20 meters of cabling for this, and I have 10 meters of cabling for the other. So the signal should be better. It's just annoying. Oh, yeah. Don't buy Chromebooks. It's you can watch Netflix on it. I am back. I've been back for a while. What are you blaming this on? I'm blaming Jamie. Jamie should have been here. I told Jamie, come in here, help me out. And she said, no, Iris is coming up. So I'm out buying White Claws and that little tequila with the red sombrero, because that's Iris's favorite. And that's why we don't have Stabby Day tomorrow, because Jamie always chooses business over pleasure. Pleasure over business. I don't know. And Miss M became a member. Thank you so much, Miss M. And Cindy Schneider. That's a good German name. Became a member. Thank you so much, Cindy. But I'll go back and I don't have the text language. Just glad you understand. It is very annoying. Wonder what it could be. Need faster laptop. No, I used to be able to run it on my old laptop. Then it crapped out because the fan in it went bad. But I'm just thinking I'll try and buy a new ether cable so I can try and see if that's the problem. Or else I am in the process of upgrading my desktop. So if I do that, I'll move this desktop in there, so I know I'll have a powerhouse standing, so I can do real streams. Because that's where I paint, that's where I build my Legos. So it's really annoying that I don't have equipment that works. So because I have low standards, but they should still be reached. What's my favorite band and or movie? My favorite band is Elvis Presley. And my favorite movie is Shawshank Redemption. If you want a movie you can always watch. If it's my favorite movie because it's so cringe, but I watched it a lot when I was a kid, it's The Barbarians, one of the worst movies in history. If it's one that I really got into when I was a teenager, it's Blood In, Blood Out. Amazing movie. If it's an MCU movie, if you want to go that direction, I don't know. Most of them are crap. It depends on what you're in for. What kind of movie? I actually have a lot of now with the days off. I don't have streams at night. Well, I still do them, but I'm sitting there thinking I'm going to watch a movie on one of my streaming services, and I can't find anything I really want to watch. You have like the Oppenheimer. I want to watch it because it's the history behind it, but it's just 40 hours, and I don't want to spend 40 hours. The worst movie in the world, worst movie trilogy is The Hobbit. Next to that is Walking Simulator, extended editions. But I would probably watch one of those before I watch those 4-hour movies. I really want to go see the new Wolverine movie. Oh, my favorite MCU is probably, well, it's not MCU, but it's probably Deadpool or Logan. I like the Logan movie. And yeah. Well, it's not the fan that craps out. It's the internet connection. Click on allow cookies on your laptop. Fuba, you're one smart cookie. I did do that. Everything, I updated everything, so it shouldn't update. I do actually sometimes, even though you couldn't tell by watching my show, I do prepare sometimes. So I made sure my laptop was 100% upgraded. I'm running Windows 11. I don't know if that's the problem, that it's not that compatible with StreamYards or something. I don't understand it. It's just every time I'm on the laptop, it craps out. Shawshank Redemption is a great movie because it's good storytelling. It takes its time. I like The Longest Day as well. If you want a war movie. Yeah, I was actually thinking about going in there watching it Wednesday night, and then Jamie started yelling, so I had to start streaming. I think it is a ghost. I make you feel old. Why? Because I'm 27 years old? And stay for the after credits. Yeah, you normally used to do that. No, I have my iPad for that. I'm not an amateur. I don't mix business and pleasure. And again, I'm perpetual single, so of course I do watch fishing movies, especially fly fishing, where they jerk the rod. Silence of the Lamb. Yeah. What about Bob? I watched it one time. Escape from New York, decent movie. Escape from LA, crappy movie. Peter Jackson is a time traveler, Baker. He traveled in time, and Lord of the Rings ripped off my videos with all that walking. I might sue if I can prove the time traveling. The time traveling is easy. After they turned on the CERN hydro collector thing, time travel became possible because no way is it possible to watch Lord of the Rings extended cut special editions without have been in the thing in CERN. Worst movie in. What about my cat cheese? Did you delete them? I only use it for streaming. I don't even do any. I kept it as clean as possible. Still doesn't work. Yeah, we're both. If you deduct 20 years, then you're 7 years old. That's weird. Thanks for going live yesterday when we were all super bored. You are a trooper. Well, I was super bored. That's why I went live, just to chit chat about nothing, because it's weird when you are creator or whatever the word is we're supposed to call ourselves. I'm always online. It feels like every night. So I don't. I sat there yesterday and thought, well, I'm going to watch someone else, and no one else was streaming. But I don't know that because I'm normally always streaming, so I don't know who streams when. I thought, well, I'm gonna catch me some Nicholas or someone. No one was streaming, so I had to do it. But I don't know. I'm weird like that. Book was better. I I hate those Elvis songs. Not Elvis, but the elves songs. Guy Ritchie makes pretty fun movies. What's the one? Is it The Gentleman with Matthew McConaughey and Hugh Grant? That's a pretty fun movie. But my OnlyFans is my side hustle. And he told me to begin with that we would keep it private, but then I saw the numbers it was making. So, hey, fast group, Susan, because we tried to call you, but you didn't get up. Lock, stock, and two smoking barrels is your favorite. It's I think I've only watched it a couple of times. Long live Elvis. Yeah, Elvis lives on the second floor. He's getting up there now. He's from 36, so yeah, he's getting older. But his wife is still alive. His kid died, sadly. Fedorowski, don't hate me, but I never watched Snatch. I've seen a lot of clips from it, and here it's a good movie. Never watched it. Secondhand Lions, don't know that one. What's next trial? Next trial Monday, Sarah Boone. But that's only a hearing. Then Friday, that's what I talked about yesterday. Is if anyone has any good ideas, because I have Sarah Boone Monday, then I have something I can read Tuesday, then I have Karen Read Friday, then I have 2 weeks of nothing, and then there's Corey Richards in week 35. Then I have 2 weeks of nothing, and then I have that girl who put 2 holes in her mom's face on the 16th of September. That'll probably take a week's time, and then there's pretrial hearing from Sarah Boone, and then Sarah Boone is set to begin October 7th. So I can fit in at least 3 trials in my calendar. I should look into food court. That's something you have in the malls, right? Anyone tried to watch the new Ghostbusters? I tried but failed. I watched the one. I didn't watch the one with the women because everyone hated that one. Then I watched the one with Paul Rudd. Meh. I'll give it a 6. It's what I call a popcorn movie on a Sunday. It's when you're between the Formula One and you're waiting for football to come on. You'll just take a movie that's nothing, where you can eat popcorn and just lay on the couch. And yeah, it was an okay movie. It wasn't great, but I haven't watched the latest of them. I need to. Well, I don't know what Secondhand Lions is. Well, I have to try and speak YouTube speak. Well, Jason Statham was also jumping off of things in the Olympics. No one knows that either. I don't have Netflix. When does Alex Trevino start? I don't know. Don't know that case. But I'll write it down and then I'll yell at Josie for not telling me about it. And she'll get mad because instead of calling her Jody, I now call her Josie, and her name is Jess. But them's the rules. The new one was terrible. So the Sandra case and the Karen Reed case has some of the same bad cops involved. Sarah Birchmore, who was, yeah, we talked about that. I believe 2 weeks ago, but again, that's in a civil suit. I know there's going to be a hearing. New Jack City is good. I liked it. I liked Boys in the Hood better, but it's probably more realistic of the drug epidemic in the 90s. If I understand, if August 26th, well, August 26th is actually where Corey Richards is supposed to start, but I wrote the name down. I'll check on it, and we'll see what it is. Well, the problem is replaying some great chord. It always sounds like a good idea, and then people are saying, "Oh, yeah, oh, this guy. It's don't listen to him because what he said about the axe, that's so crazy because it just doesn't make sense. It clearly was him who did it." And then you're sitting there thinking, this is kind of like watching Walking Simulator and finding out that they spent 3 movies just going from the Shire to a mountain and falling into a volcano. It was a waste of time. They could just have thrown that ring into the fire. Well, it must be Mount Doom. Fire's fire. Get over yourself. What I'm saying is a lot of people spoil when you rewatch trials. Well, I didn't watch it, so I don't know which one it is. Never watched the Barbie movie. I never played with Barbies. I watched both Joe movies because I played with G.I. Joes. I should have watched the Barbie movies instead. Well, Lynn, it happens. Well, I can get Netflix, but I canceled my subscription because I used to have the family plan so my kids could watch it. And then they said, well, only if they live in your house. And I paid a substantial amount of money for it. So I said, go F yourself. So much other things. I have Prime and two other streaming services right now. And then in a year's time or something, I'll go back on Netflix, watch what I missed. Yes, I know. We covered it 2 weeks ago. Alien Romulus. Oh, there's only 2 Alien movies as well. Oh, yeah. Was it her doing it or medical malfeasance or something like that? I saw something about that one. Justin Lord case in Arizona is coming. Teenager mobbed and unalive by a bunch of privileged white kids in Gilbert, Arizona. I can put it on. No. Yeah, my laptop crapped out. I'm sorry. I'll put pictures somewhere. Yes. And I get enough. Oh, you're cranky. I am not touching the Young Turk trial with a 45 feet pole in Nick's hand because that poor guy, he's been covering that trial and it's going to take forever. He's never ever going to finish that trial. No, Nick is covering it. I don't cover stuff my friends are covering, just jumping in the middle of it because not that you can put any flags of I own this stuff, but as a buddy, yeah, I don't get in on that. I have been proclaiming there will be a Fort Boone next to a Fort Brooks. Oh, McAfee, total waste. In the fall, I make delicious applesauce muffins. I like a good apple crumble cake and stuff like that. But again, I won't do any more baking streams before I am 100% sure that I figure out what the problem is with that stupid laptop because I can still see the feed in my when you're on StreamYard below this picture that you see. I have pictures of all the cameras feeding into the program, and I can see that the chocolate chip dough sitting out there. And I wished I could show it to you, but crap is crap. Paperboard for Boone. I'll be here for it. Well, she can't get she can't get her physical copy, so she will have to make a digital for it. Yeah, her motions will be on the table, and we're gonna start early Monday because it's 8:45. Jamie has already written the judge and said, "That's inhuman. I can't get up that early. Do you know how long it takes to freshen these lashes?" So, but the rest of us will be going at 8:45 Monday is when it's set for trial or for the hearing. I haven't watched anything about the Delphi. I know Nick has talked a lot about it. The Odinism, just because I am Scandinavian and we don't call it Odinism, we call it Asatro because it's the belief in the god, and those gods were named Asa, which is weird because there was two types of gods, Asa and Vaner, but still. But that Odinism is crapiola in my book. Has nothing to do with our former belief because they just picked it up, made it cool to try and be cool kids. No, because you can't file a motion against it. What should you do? Say he doesn't have his First Amendment right? Like, I don't know. I need a Mac. Mine flew out of my hand like a frisbee the other day, and I never worried about it working. It's because it didn't work to start with. I don't touch Macs. The only Mac I touch is a McDonald's. I could eat a fillet of fish tonight. Nope, I can't. I'm chubby enough. But good morning, expert. Glad you could make it. Yeah, because again, it's not a belief in Odin. Odin is just one of the gods. He's the leader of the pantheon. But you pray to single elements for the stuff you want. If you want love, you pray to Freya, uh, who is the goddess of love and strife, because she's like every other woman. If you want, an easy travel over the sea, you'll pray to Njord. If thunder's rolling in and you're afraid, you'll pray to Thor. It's if you're going into battle, you'll pray to Tyr. I just hate that bastardization of the old Nordic myths. If you had participated in my giveaway for my 10,000 substream, you could have won a book about the Nordic mythology. Whiskey won that one. All your MacBooks work fine. I don't like them. I hear that name Grizzly a lot, but I've never really seen her. You have a Venus tattoo. Well, it's kind of the same god. I was actually, because my daughter's name is Freya, so I thought it was weird getting one of my daughters and not the other one. But because I have Lady Justice on the other arm, and that's the Roman version of them. So I thought, should I get like a Venus or that? But I was at the tattoo artist with my daughter Freya, and she said, "No, you should get a fire." So that's why I have fire on my arm. Yes, but would you say that the news coverage that they had a video showing him hitting him should also be illegal, or whatever you want to do with Morrissey? You can't stop him. It's his First Amendment right just as much as it's your right to say they have BS. If you could get on camera and say that, you're allowed to do it. It's crap. It's unethical, but vote him out the next time. I know there's a fundraiser for him. Don't pay any money to that. Find a better candidate and run him against him, who's not a corrupt POS in Minecraft, allegedly. Oh, good. You reminded me because I'm about to round down. Mo is going live in a bit, and I'm going to bake some cookies. I'm going to chuck all of you over to Mo's tonight, 9 p.m. That's 9 in French, Jamie. 9 p.m. Probably the best, if not the very best, Friday night spot to hang out is at the Expert. Marissa will probably put a link up for the stream. If he has it ready already, I can link directly to that stream. He probably doesn't. It's a combination of what? Who? What? In the best kind of way. It's autism distilled into ADHD with a lot of funny people. I can't really describe what the show is, but it's funny. It's entertaining. It's whatever is on our minds. I normally pop on around 11 and put in a little energy before the show ends. Normally it'll run from like 9 to 12, 1 o'clock. Always funny people, always a good show, always the best place to hang out on Fridays. Sadly, I can only do, because I live in a socialist paradise where we don't live in the same time zone, I'll only do the back end of the show. I will try to get out of bed this week. Last week, I was streaming too late, so I couldn't make it. But it's my Saturday morning ritual is getting up at 5 a.m. and jumping on The Expert for Friday Night Live, the best show on Fridays. Today, he will probably have, I don't know who he has on as guests, but normally it's super funny. Normally it's really entertaining. And it's not, those other shows that get a little too formulaic because, oh, we have a Friday night show about cakes. So we're always going to hate on cheesecake because cheesecake is the worst cake in the world. There should be a rule against making cheesecakes. But every show they'll sit around talking about cheesecake, which you should, because cheesecake and Sweden are the two worst things in the world. But when you have heard about that for 45 weeks in a row, you kind of understand that cheesecake and Sweden is the worst two things in the world. But you need someone to talk about something else. And that's the good thing about the Friday Night Live show is it's never the same because new guests, no topics. It's just what's coming off our mind. Someone throws hey, did you see that weird thing? And we start talking about that. Sometimes we go into 50 minutes discussing, is the earth flat? Which it isn't, because it's a disc on top the shell of a turtle. So it's a little rounded in the middle. But we have discussions, are bird real? And sometimes we even make sense when we do it. It's the place to be on a Friday night. I just have to say it. Cream cheese is the third worst thing in the world. Yeah, and it's a pants-free zone. No one is allowed, creators or audience are allowed to wear pants because it's a Friday night. Well, who's going to charge Morrissey? Think about it. Morrissey. Who's not going to charge Morrissey? Morrissey. It's the same about all the perjury going on in the trial. It's not illegal as long as you're not charged with it. Who's going to charge every witness Lally put on the stand with perjury? Lally. Is that going to happen? Just about as sure as my laptop works whenever I try to bake. It ain't going to happen. The law only works if you have fair people meting out the law. In the Karen Reed case, you have a-holes who has all the power. I've been to 2 births. I don't want to see a third one. It's messy. Parents are prison. Caprice work well. I don't have any tattoos. I don't like tattoos. I don't understand people getting tattoos. Apple time apple squares. It does have some cream cheese in it. It's more of a cookie than cheesecake. Well, take out the cream cheese. I told my daughter that pants were prison, and she started laughing and said, "Yes, they are." It's the same problem I have with bras. They should, because it always sticks into my shoulder. I mean, what? Yeah, and because who is going to charge the cops with the lies? The DA's office, who's not going to, unless it's a really, really bad cop that can't get around. No one does anything. Yes, I was looking at it, but the witnesses I heard had the audio wasn't that bad, and I was a little burned out after the Ashley Benefield trial. I have to admit, I needed a break, so that's why I've only been streaming 2 hour streams every day now since the Ashley. I could just didn't feel like doing 8 hour streams because my back was starting to give out. So that's why I didn't do the tattoo punch case. Well, I like to keep it sexy. Heathens. Could I love somebody who likes chive? I don't like chive. And onion cream cheese. No. Um, it's the same with feta cheese and mozzarella. No, mozzarella is okay on pizza. I'm just not a fan of all that squishy cheese. Blech. Earn it, Bird. You should come by. That's and it's 100% facts. Hey, Salomons. Yeah, but then because I have all my side fat, Dixon, it's so hard to get a bra that fits you. Yeah, how do you get past an incestuous bunch of crooked cops, as Beto would say? And again, um, yeah, I like wine gums. Gonna have Detroit style pizza. I'm gonna make myself a hot dog for dinner tonight. Never had barramundi. Fedorowski, 95% of the time when I have my own man pee break in the middle of my sleep, you sit in the chat I jump into. Too late for you. You're probably tasting some rum and hanging out. Yeah, I don't mind cheese. I just don't like soft cheeses. Exactly. Let those puppies out. I'm always called out. You're going to grind and process the meat. I don't know, but I'm going to end now because Mo is going live talking about El Loco Chico, El Sarapuno, and I'm going to make some cookies. Remember, put some donuts in chat for Mo. She's on a diet, so that'll really chock her boat. And 9 a.m. p.m. a.m. to p.m. That was a great song. 9 p.m. tonight on the Experts channel, Friday Night Live, the best Friday show on the planet. It's so funny that even what's that annoying late night host who always laugh at anything. would be funny if he was on it, because he's not. Fallon. But the rest of you, hasta la taco. I'm gonna make my cake and kick my laptop. Thank you for watching, even though everything turned to crap.
What exhibit are you referring to?
I'm going to make this 100, Your Honor.
All right.
100.
100.
Because it is 100%
100%.
correct.
Objection, Your Honor.
So you literally built a cannon?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
All right, I'm in love.
Go back. Please do that again. Oh, that was the cutest thing I've ever seen.
While I'm waiting for this, did you, whether it's true or not, believe that Mr. Randolph had slept with your wife?
I wouldn't care.
You wouldn't have cared?
No,
Did you believe he had slept with your wife?
no,
Did you believe he slept with your mother-in-law?
probably did. Everybody has.
So there.
Everybody has.